Hello, children, and hello, sweet mothers of little children. As I had promised, I'm going to start the first story of Ramayana of King Ram. So, King Ram's story is essentially a story of good winning over evil, of how, although he was a prince, he had to live in the forest and he had to fight demons, and how his character is full of patience and love for all, and how he comes out as a very benevolent and victorious king in the story till the end. So, let me begin from the very beginning. So there was a beautiful kingdom in India called Ayodhya. This place was really beautiful. It had the river of Saryu flowing through it. There were lots of flowers, lots of greenery. It was a very beautiful place. And the people of that place were even more beautiful. They were very kind-hearted, they were very gentle, very calm, and they loved everybody. They were all very affectionate, nice people. And the people of this land were so nice. The king was even better. The king's name was Lord Dashrath. He was a very benevolent king. He used to look after his people very well. He was very caring and a very, very good ruler. But as luck would have it, he did not have any children. He was deprived of the joy of having any children, although he married 3 times. So he had 3 wives in the hope of getting a heir to the throne, but none of them were blessed with a child. So his wives were Kaushalya, Kekai, and Sumitra. So one day when he was feeling very upset about this, he thought of doing a yajna. So in the olden times in India, they used to do yajna. They used to, in the open, they used to, burn the fire and pray to the Almighty, to the forces of the universe, the sun, the moon, the light, everything, so that, whatever negativity is there in this world, that should disappear and positivity should come out. So, and also they would pray for their personal problems like having a child or whatever. So he decided to do a yajna, and during this time there was this very demonic king of Sri Lanka who was called Ravan. And he was a very powerful person, very, very knowledgeable. He was a Pandit with 10 heads. It said the 10 heads actually means that he has the knowledge of 10 people in one head. But he was using his knowledge for troubling people. So, and he had a, number of followers who were also like demons, who would trouble anybody who would be praying, who would trouble innocent people. So there was this whole lot of negativity coming from Ravan and his people. And it was affecting even India, Ayodhya, all these places. So when King Ram went to do the yajna and he was praying to the gods were also wanting that there should be something that needs to be done to wipe out this evil effect of Ravan and his people from the face of the earth. Because God is merciful, God always wants peace, God always helps us to do the good in this world. So in India, there's a belief that every time there's too much of chaos and too much negativity, an avatar comes down. God comes in a form of a human being, and he does good to this world and cleanses the negativity from this world. So keeping that in mind, like when the yajna was happening, the gods requested Brahma. Brahma is the creator of this universe. So they requested Brahma that please do something. Send Vishnu. Vishnu is Lord incarnate God, as Dashrath's child, so that he can go and kill these demons. So Lord Brahma agreed, and after the yajna, they blessed the sweet which was to be given to Dashrath as a blessing by the Pandit. So there was a big bowl of kheer the Pandit gave Dashrath, and he asked him to offer it to his 3 wives. So Dashrath gave half of it to Kaushalya, she was his first wife, and the rest half was divided between Kekai and Sumitra. Now, it was, sweet blessed by the gods. So as a result of that blessing, after about 1 year, um, all the three wives were blessed with a baby. So Kaushalya had a beautiful baby whom they named Ram. Kekai had a gorgeous son called Bharat, and Sumitra had two children called Lakshman and Shatrughan. So now instead of no baby, there were 4 sons in the palace, 4 babies in the palace, and the atmosphere became very beautiful and blessed, and Lord Dashrath was very thankful that his prayers had been answered and he had such lovely bonny babies all around the place. Of course, the most loved and the most sought after child was Ram. And Ram, used to, as a toddler, used to wear those little silver anklets in his feet, which would go chum 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 every time he would walk. And there are lots of songs to that effect in India, like it says, Thumak chalat Ram Chandra Baje Pejaniya. I'm not too much of a singer, but basically that the little child, when he's running around the palace and the sound of the anklets is filling up the palace, the royal palace, everybody is really feeling very blessed and beautiful and really cheered up by those sounds of the bells of the anklet. So this was the kind of joy that these children brought into the palace. So when the children were a little older, like how old are you right now? I don't know. But when they were about 4 years old, 4 to 5 years old, they were told that they now need to get educated. So the king sent them all to a Gurukul. Gurukul was a school in the olden days where one learned rishi or a learned man used to stay, and he would tell them, the students, teach them good manners, good behavior, the essence of working hard, the essence of respecting elders. All these things he would ingrain into them with the stories of the Vedas and teach them values and make them really hardworking and robust, young men, so that they don't get spoilt in the luxuries of the palace. Generally, the king's sons were always sent to the Gurukul to stay with the Guru. So they were all sent to Guru Vishisht. So Guru Vishisht was a wonderful Guru. He trained them very well and they grew up into very nice, fine young men. Now when they grew up into these lovely young men, they came back to the palace and everybody was really happy to see them, that they were such wonderful, strong boys, all of them. And Ram and Lakshman, they were like absolutely thick with each other, very, very best brothers and best friends. Wherever they would go together. And Lakshman, was Sumitra's son and Ram was Kaushalya's son, but they were like almost twins, so they would always be together and doing everything together. So King Dashrath was always very happy when he looked at his sons. So during this time, one sage who used to stay near the palace in a forest near the palace, he came over to meet the king. Now in those times, if a sage came to meet the king, it was thought of as a blessing for the king. So he blessed the king and the king was very humbled and he asked Vishwamitra, what can I do for you? Is there anything I can do for you? So Vishwamitra said, yes, you can do something for me. So he said, what is that? What can I do for you? So he said, when I'm trying to pray these days, I'm again and again being troubled by these two demons. One is Marich and the other one is Subahu. And they live somewhere near the forest and they keep disturbing me and troubling me. And their mother Tadka also gives them this, permission to go and disturb me. So I really want you to allow Ram to come and get rid of them for me. So Dashrath was a little taken aback. He said, Ram is so young. How will he fight these demons? So then Vishwamitra reminded him that these demons are from Ravan's state. They are a part of Ravan's, group of demons. And only Ram can actually get rid of them, because he is actually Vishnu incarnate and he has come into the world to do this for us. So Dashrath had to agree because he promised him. So Lakshman would not let Ram go. So both Ram and Lakshman went with Vishwamitra. And then Vishwamitra started praying, and they were waiting and guarding so that nobody disturbs his prayers. So after about 3-4 days, these two demons come, and one is called Marish and one is called Subahu, and they try to trouble Vishwamitra and stop the prayers. So Ramchandra, of course, was a great archer, so he took out his bow and arrow and he hit Marish. Immediately he died and his head flew off over many mountains. And then next came Subahu. Subahu was also gone. So both the demons were killed by Ramchandraji in one short time of a day. And also their mother Tadka, she had been troubling them on the way. So Ram had also got rid of her. So Vishwamitra was really thankful for Ram for doing this for him, because this was, actually triumphing over evil. So the good had won. This was the beginning of Ram's, removing negativity from the earth and protecting the good. So Vishwamitra was very happy that this has happened, and so he decided to take them to meet the king of Mithila. Mithila was another state nearby, and the king of Mithila was Lord Janak, Raja Janak, King Janak, and King Janak's daughter was Sita. So Vishwamitra knew that King Janak had the Shiva's bow, Shivji's bow and arrow, and when he saw that Ram was so good with his archery skills, he wanted to show him the bow and arrow. So when they went to Mithila, the King Janak, he said that, if the bow of Shivji is so heavy, nobody can even pick it up. How do you think Ram is going to try to use it? And he said, if anybody even manages to pick up this bow, I'm going to marry my daughter to that man. Because only God can pick it up. Only God incarnate can pick it up. So when Ram was shown the bow, he was, God incarnate. So he just picked up the bow and he used it, and he just broke it into two and kept it back. So everybody was amazed because it was such a heavy bow, nobody could pick it up. So suddenly King Janak realized that he's Lord Ram, he's Vishnu himself, and so he said, okay, I'm going to make him my son-in-law, and Sita will be permitted to marry him. And so Sita had another younger sister, her name was Urmila. So Urmila was, decided that she would marry Lakshman. And there were two more daughters in the family, his brother's daughters, and both of them married Shatrughan and Bharat. So there were 4 brides and 4 boys. So King Dashrath was invited to Mithila, and the marriage took place of all the 4 young couples. And with great jubilance, they all went back to Ayodhya. They all celebrated, danced, sang, how it is in shadis. So much of band, baja, brati. It was an Indian wedding, and it was the princess's royal wedding. So in India, as it is, weddings are royal. And imagine a king's 4 princes getting together. So the whole city, almost the whole country was jubilant. They were celebrating, lighting up, dancing, singing, exchanging sweets, making, throwing parties. So that was the scene, and everybody in Ayodhya was very, very happy. So this is the first part of the Ramayana about Lord Rama's birth and his, becoming a wonderful prince of Ayodhya. So I will be following this up with, at least 9 or 10 more episodes of Ram's story. so that I can complete the Ramayana with you children. So do subscribe to my channel and share and like it. And I will be waiting also for your comments. So lots and lots of love. Make use of your time and stay happy. Keep smiling and let's fight Corona together. Thank you so much.